The atmosphere in the Big Easy is shifting as we look toward the 2026 season, and honestly, there is a sense of nervous realization settled inside the building right now. We have all spent years cheering through the highs and lows, but a specific decision regarding the offensive line is going to define our upcoming campaign. It is a moment that tests our loyalty as fans because the front office has essentially made their choice. This isn't just about a depth chart change, but about the soul of our run game. Cesar Ruiz is officially the man the New Orleans Saints are riding with at right guard for the foreseeable future, and there is no longer any room for debate on this matter after the recent draft. Head coach Dennis Allen and the front office have clearly decided to double down on the veteran presence despite what many in the Who Dat Nation were hoping for during the offseason. The reality of the situation is tied deeply to the financial commitments made back in 2023 when he signed that massive 4-year extension worth $44 million. When you look at the numbers provided by salary cap experts, it becomes very obvious why a change was almost impossible this year. Because the dead cap hit for moving on right now is a staggering $16.85 million. That is a massive chunk of change that would essentially handicap the team from making any other moves, so the organization is choosing to bet on his potential to bounce back. We also saw some significant movement on the other side of the line with the addition of former Buffalo Bills standout David Edwards, who is expected to stabilize the left guard position. This creates a situation where the interior of the line is mostly set in stone with established veterans rather than fresh faces from the college ranks. Adding to the importance of this unit is the arrival of star running back Travis Etienne, who came over from Jacksonville to ignite a rushing attack that was unfortunately ranked 28th in the league last year. Dennis Allen knows that for this high-profile investment in the backfield, to pay off the blocking up front has to be significantly better than what we witnessed during the last campaign. While there were whispers that the team might look for a high-round replacement in the draft, they only added Jeremiah Wright in the 4th round, who is widely considered a developmental project for the future. This means the path forward is paved with the current roster, and there are no more safety nets or alternative options left to explore before the season starts in September. It is a bold gamble for the entire Saints coaching staff to take right now. The performance of the right guard position has been a true roller coaster ride for anyone who follows the film closely over the last few seasons. 2 years ago, we saw a version of this player that looked like a top-tier talent, as he was ranked 24th out of 77 guards in the league, according to performance grades. However, that progress hit a significant wall last season, when the numbers dipped across the board, and his ranking fell to 57th out of 81 total players at the position. The most concerning aspect of that decline was the run blocking grade, which plummeted to 73rd in the entire league and contributed heavily to the team's struggles on the ground. When the offensive line cannot create holes for the backs, it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the quarterback to make a play on every single snap. Yet it is not all bad news because his pass protection numbers actually went up for the 3rd consecutive year, and he finished as the 13th best pass blocker in football. This creates a strange paradox for the coaching staff because they have a player who is elite at keeping the passer clean but struggles to move defenders in the running game. The hope inside the building is that playing alongside a veteran like David Edwards will help create more consistency and communication across the entire unit. By having a reliable presence on the left side, it might allow the right guard to focus more on his individual assignments and regain that form from 2 years ago. The logic is that if the pass blocking stays at a high level and the run blocking even returns to league average, then the entire offense will transform into a much more dangerous threat. We are looking at a situation where a single player holds the keys to whether the running backs can find daylight or get swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. It is a high-stakes game of development, and the organization is betting that the peak version of this athlete is the one we will see when the pads come on for real this summer in New Orleans. This situation matters so much because the running game is the engine that drives the entire success of the team, and we simply cannot afford another year of being near the bottom of the league. Last season, the Saints finished 28th in rushing yards per game, and that is a statistic that will keep any coach up at night, wondering what went wrong. When you cannot run the ball effectively, you lose the ability to control the clock and keep your defense fresh, which leads to tired players and late-game collapses that we have seen too often. By sticking with the current starter at right guard, the team is saying they believe the problem was not the individual talent, but perhaps the scheme or the surrounding pieces. Adding a dynamic runner like Travis Etienne changes the math, because he is the kind of explosive player who can make a blocker look good, by finding small gaps that others might miss. However, even the best runners in the world need a little bit of space to breathe before they hit the second level of the defense. If the offensive line fails to provide that space, then the millions of dollars spent in free agency will feel like a wasted opportunity for a franchise that is desperate to get back to the playoffs. We have to see a massive improvement in how this group works together, because the chemistry of an offensive line is more important than any individual highlight reel. Fans in the Superdome want to see a physical brand of football where we dictate the terms of the game and grind opponents down in the fourth quarter. That kind of identity is impossible to build if the interior of your line is getting pushed back into the lap of the quarterback or failing to move the pile on 3rd and short. The direct consequence of this decision is that there are no more excuses left for the coaching staff or the players involved. They have the veteran leadership and they have the shiny new weapons in the backfield, so the only thing left to do is produce results on the field when it counts the most for our season. Building tension for the upcoming months is easy when you consider the two very different paths this season could take based on the play of the offensive line. In the best-case scenario, the starting right guard finds his rhythm and uses his elite pass blocking skills to give the offense a stable foundation while showing improved strength in the run game. This would allow the new running back to thrive and give the Saints one of the most balanced and dangerous offenses in the entire conference. It would prove that the front office was right to be patient and that the contract extension was actually a smart investment in a foundational piece of the roster. But if the struggles from last season continue and the run blocking remains at the bottom of the league, then the frustration from the fans is going to boil over very quickly. Imagine a scenario where the team is stuck in 3rd and long situations all day because the first 2 downs resulted in no gain because of a missed block up front. That puts the entire season at risk and could lead to a massive overhaul of the coaching staff and the roster next year. The tension is amplified by the presence of Jeremiah Wright, who was taken in the 4th round and will be waiting in the wings to take over if things go south. While he might not be ready on day 1, the pressure of having a young and hungry prospect behind you can either motivate a veteran or cause them to crumble under the weight of expectations. We are standing at a crossroads where the stability of the franchise is on the line, and every single snap will be scrutinized by millions of people. The margin for error in the professional ranks is incredibly thin, and we have seen how one weak link can cause an entire unit to fall apart during the heat of a division race. This is the ultimate test of character for a player who has been through the fire and now has to prove he belongs at the top of the mountain. The path forward for the New Orleans Saints is now crystal clear as the roster takes its final shape before the grind of training camp begins. We are going into battle with the same primary faces on the right side of the line, and the success of our season depends on their ability to rise to the occasion. It is a decision that requires a lot of faith from a fan base that has seen its fair share of offensive line struggles in recent years. Be honest with me right now, because I want to know where you stand on this. Do you truly believe that sticking with the current veteran at right guard is the right move, or should the team have been more aggressive in finding a replacement earlier this spring? The stakes could not be higher for Dennis Allen and his staff. If you love the Saints and want to stay updated on every single move inside the building, then make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a deep dive into the team we love so much. Thank you for your support, and Who Dat for life.